Hello everyone. Now I see there are a lot of questions flowing around the forum, flowing around the YouTube channel around the new release that happened on UiPath Studio, the 2025 release in December. Now there are many confusions, even I had to see the new changes, but there is a forum link. I am going to pass it in the description of the video. So all you do simply go through this link so that you have a complete understanding what are the changes you can expect. Okay, so the very first one, I'll go through some of them here just to clarify the very important aspects that you might see as a change. Let's get started with the very first one. Okay, uh, the studio now comes with a lighter setup. Yesterday I was missing it. Bundling only system activities, that means it is clearly telling you going forward when you create a process, it will only have system activities, and the goal for that is to keep it lighter. But eventually the developer community accepts that, or there is a feedback they want it back, all the minimum required activities. If you ask me personally, I want the minimum required activities as a developer. Okay, I can still wait for some time for the project to load, but again UiPath must be having a goal, right? So what is happening here, for example, if I open my studio, where is my studio? Let me open the UiPath Studio. If I go here, for example, when you create a process, I showed it yesterday. For example, let's say test2 create. What is happening is, if you see, the project would load in a much faster way than before. Reason being, earlier it was loading many dependencies of the package. Like here you see uipath.system.activities. Earlier we had 4 to 5 mail, Excel, and XYZ UI automation activities. So now it is only UiPath system.activities. This is how it has been planned. But the problem is many of the community, the developer community is feeling, okay, where is the app recorder? Or the beginners have questions. Now, if you need a app recorder, you go to manage packages, go to all packages, and UiPath.ui automation activities. Okay, so this is a preview. This might change based on the community feedback. If the community need the minimum required this one, then of course, yeah, UiPath may think of putting things back, right, at least few minimum dependencies, so that, for example, the design panel, the moment it's installed, you see it look different. See, app, computer vision, all this have come now. Now if you feel this is a required one, and if there are the community, the developer community of UiPath starts putting this as a feedback, maybe UiPath might like to bring few more dependencies and keep it still light. Okay, so this is one of the first change. Let's see. So this one you have understood why it is appearing different from the older versions. The other one is simplified sign-in experience. Connecting to Studio is now more straightforward with a single sign-in option. For those needing to connect via client credentials, machine key, the older way of connecting the unattended deployment, right? Assistant, command line. So the older options are still there. They are not been removed. They are still there. But again, now it is more easy, straightforward to directly connect your studio. This is another change. The third important change, mostly for the Studio X community, right? People who are using Studio X. Now for them, there is a change. You can now create a Studio X task directly from Studio without having to switch profile. So what is the switch profile? I'll show you. Earlier, we used to go home, then go to settings, and there used to be something, if I remember, license profiles, and then we used to switch from Studio to Studio X. Studio X is, for those who want to know what is a Studio X, Studio X is more for the business users, or right, who are not technical or who are not developers, RP developers, for them. So you have a template, you directly use it, right, with less of knowledge on coding, for citizen developers mostly. Uh, Now what they are saying, you don't have to do that. That option is no more there. Simplify, navigate to the templates and search for the task which will enable you to create StudioX workflows. So what they are saying, now there is no such switching required. Now all you can do within the studio, one platform. But how? Now for that, all they are saying, go to templates. And here search for what you need. For example, I need certain Studio X workflows. I'll show you some of the Studio X project templates. Okay. So if you see my screen, these are the Studio X project templates. Create rich text HTML, complete Word template for from Excel and email, create PowerPoint presentation, right? Download file from website. So something like that. So I can search for something, for example, download file from website. I'll search for it. No, I'll say all. Okay. So you can see download file from website is there. So I can simply download this template and start using it. Okay, I don't have to design it as a developer completely. Okay, so you can take advantage of the project notebook, other StudioX capabilities with the change. You can also consume StudioX templates. All right, so this is one important change for people who wanted to switch to StudioX and not finding it. This is how you have to use it. Deprecating Windows legacy. This is also one important part. What is Windows legacy, first of all? So Windows legacies are the .NET framework, the older .NET framework. Now, most of the application when they run, they use the .NET framework to run it. Now, anything which was built on the older .NET framework are referred as Windows legacy. Don't think Windows X, Vista, the older operating system of Windows. It's not related to that. It is more related to the older .NET framework. Nowadays, you have .NET Core 5 plus, all the .NET Core releases. We have the latest one. Now, the latest one are more performance oriented, more faster. So they are deprecating the Windows legacy. I mean, any project which was created using the older .NET framework, let's say you have created using 2 years back, 3 years back, right? Those kind of projects, right? You cannot create any more .NET Windows legacy. What I'll show you, how to show you that is, if I go back to start, click on a process. Okay. So here, if you remember, the older version of Studio had an option called Windows legacy. Here you only see two options, Windows and cross-platform. The Windows legacy option is completely taken out. That means you cannot build a project for the older .NET frameworks. Okay. Over the last few years, we have shifted focus from Windows legacy projects and invested in Windows and cross-platform. We believe we are now at the next stage and starting with this release, editing Windows legacy projects is not supported anymore. Okay. Editing Windows legacy projects is not supported. Creating is not supported. Okay. Opening existing Windows legacy projects only gives you an option to convert them to Windows projects. So when you try to open it, it will only give you an option to convert them. I don't have one. I think I had one, but I have deleted. For example, image classification, something I have created long back. But if I click on it, it is already moved. Maybe I have deleted it. Okay. But if you have one, you can try it out. It will only give you an option to convert them to Windows projects. All right. And one of the important feature I like is autosave. Studio now supports autosave. Now, what is that option? It's pretty clear. Go to settings, and then you have in the design, you have something called autosave. Use the toggle to enable autosaving. Open it. So I think I will enable it. This is more good. You don't have to save all the time like we did it in the older versions. So this is an interesting feature. Okay, many of us might like this. Okay, so great. Now next is long running workflow preview. Okay, now there is a document. If you are not aware of this, what is long running workflow, you can use that link and then understand how it works. Now just to give you a quick view, let me go to templates, and here I have to select official, and then I'll select include pre-release. Okay, this pre-release. Now I will simply type long. So these are the model your long running workflows using BPMN. So if you want to learn more about long running workflows, So there's a link, you can go through the steps. Okay, all the steps are written, you can just go through it. All right. Okay, let me go back. This is another improvement that you would find. And then you have yeah, this is also another important one, the try catch switch timeout scope. See, the views have changed. For example, the try catch older one was looking something like this. Now the newer one would look something like this. Okay, look at it, try, the arrow, and then you have something like this, catch, body. It's more like a, I feel it's more like a studio web kind of a look it's trying to give me. So try like this, the appearance of this, some of the activities are slightly changed. Okay, to be aware. Switch, you can see the switch has changed. You might see certain changes here in the activities. So we unified the look of these activities between Studio Web and Studio Desktop. See below for comparison between the old and new look. Okay, this is one, and there are a couple of other options also, other changes also they have done. Start job, we adjusted the start job activity to work the same as invoke workflow file. So most of us must have already used invoke workflow file. If not, you can try it out. It is, the start job is more, is going to work more like that. Find and invoke process, it now follows the same concept of having arguments grouped under the single property. Okay, so you can experiment this particular activity. And then assistant UX improvements they have done. Okay, UI automation. So let me also open the UiPath assistant. Okay, so you can see the new look of the assistant. If I go to marketplace, more cleaner look, looks better, and I can start using the marketplace templates, manage my PDF files, for example, right? So these are the couple of improvements being done, but again, this is not, this is a preview, right? And might come up with more changes as required, right? If based on the community feedback, there could be more changes in the upcoming days. But yeah, be aware of all this. It will help you so that you are not confused what happened all of a sudden. There's a document, you can go through it. There are links, you can go through them. I will pass this particular link for your help in the description of the video.